Good afternoon, and welcome to the February 19th edition of Success by Association Live. This issue is sponsored by Caesars Entertainment, and we thank them for their steadfast support of AENC. Today's article is written by Lisa Ryan, CSP, and is reprinted with permission. The article is titled, Engage, 3 Strategies to Keep Your Top Talent from Becoming Someone Else's. You're probably familiar with the engagement statistics that Gallup organization puts out every year. Unfortunately, in the United States, only about 30% of employees are actively engaged at work. That means 70% of employees have the potential to leave you for another opportunity. With unemployment rates at a historic low, you don't have the luxury of easily finding talent to replace the people you've lost. Turnover is expensive. At an association, you have more than employees to worry about, though. Board members, staff, volunteers, and members all fall into your mix. With statistics like 49% of association members leave their organization because they don't feel a connection to the association, it's important to get your team on board to create that sense of connection. After all, your membership is the key to your association's ultimate survival. When you create a culture of connection, everyone wins. Because people are the number one resource for every organization, engaging with them on a personal level is critical. When associations pay attention to the little things, they maintain a higher member and staff retention rate, improve productivity, and increase engagement than associations that ignore niceties that create a positive culture. Yes, creating an engaged culture at your workplace is essential, but how do you do it? Here are 3 ways you can engage your team and develop a culture of appreciation in your association. Build trust. Trust is the foundation on which you build your culture. If there is no trust, nothing else matters. Your association's culture took a long time to get to the point where it is right now, and it's not going to change overnight. What often happens to leaders is that they suffer from a condition called BSO, bright, shiny object syndrome. After attending a seminar, conference, or industry event, they discover the next big idea to increase engagement. Managers then excitedly implement these new strategies, but when they don't see immediate results, they discontinue the program. That's a mistake. When you discover a new program or idea that you choose to implement, make sure you commit to it for the long run. You may start with an apology approach. This entails telling your team you realize that this seems like another flavor of the week, admit the mistakes made while implementing, and then discontinuing the programs in the past. Ask your teams for their feedback on the initiative and the ways that they feel they can play a role in its implementation. Listen to their ideas openly, and if there is grumbling about it, find out the reasons why the consternation is happening and see how you can work together to make adjustments. Getting buy-in early and often will help you sustain the program going forward. Unfortunately, the recipients of these new initiatives have seen the repeated cycle of their managers chasing BSOs. Because of this, they figure that if they ignore everything, that it will probably only take a few weeks for things to get back to normal. With this type of ongoing cycle, it's hard to establish, this time we're really going to do this. Your team members won't trust you until they see consistency in your actions. Trust takes a long time to build, and you can erase it in a moment. The deadly eye roll, the lack of follow through, and not setting the example that you want to see within the organization are all things that destroy trust. When you as a leader commit to making a change, no matter how long it takes, you are well on your way to creating a culture of trust. 2, invest in training. Help your team become better tomorrow than they are today. For your members, this means providing continuing education and networking opportunities that help them grow themselves and their organizations. Be creative in the programming that you offer and get member feedback as to what they would find most beneficial. Don't exclude your team when it comes to investing in their personal and professional development. Most people are looking for ways to grow and improve, yet they don't necessarily take time out of their busy schedule to do work on their own. Make it easy for your team to participate. And by team, that includes your volunteers. Your volunteers have lots of options when it comes to the organizations they choose to serve. When you take care of them, they will take better care of you. Some leaders are of the mindset of, why should we spend money to train our employees? They're just going to take what they learn and leave anyway. And while in a few cases that's true, here's a little food for thought. What if you don't train them and they stay? What you'll find is that when you invest in your employees, you'll see many benefits. Your people will not only work harder for you, but they may also feel that you value them and their contributions because you're investing time and resources in their career and personal development. 3, acknowledge positive action. Catch your team in the act of doing things well. In other words, find ways to acknowledge, appreciate, and applaud the efforts of your team members. Mother Teresa once said, we are more starved for appreciation than we are for bread. Showing appreciation is just as valid at work as it is at home. Research by Marshall Lasado finds that high-performing teams work with a 6-to-1 positivity ratio. This statistic means that for every one negative comment that an employee hears, they hear at least 6 positive reactions. These opinions are not necessarily, yeah, everything you do is perfect, but rather, that's a good start of an idea. Let's see how we can build from here. It's respectful communication. In an average performing team, there is 3-to-1 positivity ratio. At this point, the company is barely surviving. Employees are doing just enough work so that they don't get fired, and the company is probably paying them just enough so they don't quit. It's an even balance. Finally, on a low-performing team, there is a 0.3-to-1 positivity ratio. People on a low-performing team are hearing 3 times more negative remarks than they are positive comments. That doesn't work. Stop trying to always fix what's broken and instead acknowledge what's working. What gets recognized gets repeated. So if you want your people to behave productively, let them know you notice their excellent work. The chances are good that they will like the positive feedback and will look for ways to get more of that. When you get positive feedback, don't just say, good job. Be specific so they know that you are paying attention to them. Look for ways to recognize your employees in the way that they would like to be recognized. Some of your employees will love public applause while others will hate it. Maybe for those more reserved employees, you'll set up a one-to-one conversation with them. Written notes are also a terrific way to connect. When you tell someone you appreciate them, you create a wonderful memory. When you write it down, you create a treasure. A well-placed Post-it note can make all the difference in someone's day. To get started, sit down with your leadership team and determine the type of culture that you want to create. Don't focus on things that you should do, but rather unique characteristics that make your workplace a great place to work. And then choose a word or two of the top ideas that you will commit to doing over the long term. Then do it. Lisa Ryan, CSP, helps organizations who want to keep their top talent from becoming someone else's. She's the founder of Grategy and is an award-winning speaker and best-selling author of 10 books, including To Have and to Hold, 101 Smart Ways to Engage Employees. To learn more, go to www.lisaryanspeaks.com. That concludes the article. We hope you have a great day.